guys, it's Lindsay from Perfectly Bookish 5, and I have a July wrap-up and August TBR to share with you guys. I am filming this on the 24th, so it's a little premature. There are 2 books I think I'm going to finish, but otherwise I have a lot going on in these last couple days of the month, so I'm not going to be reading a lot, so I am just doing this now. So currently I have 11 books read for this month, and a lot of them are audiobooks or ebooks, so I don't have a lot of physical books to show you guys. 4 of these were ARCs. That was Hold Me Until Morning by A.L. Jackson. So I'm looking at my reading sheet here. And sorry, we just moved. There we go. Mad Love by Willow Astor, The Forbidden by Sawyer Bennett, and The Pucking Coach's Daughter by S. Massery. Hold Me Until Morning, I gave 4 stars. It was the 4th and final book in the Time River series. I did have some tears in that one. Please check for some trigger warnings. There's some stuff that goes on that some people may not be comfortable with reading about, but it was my second favorite of the series. I'm sad that it's all wrapped up. I really enjoyed the Time River series. Love is the first in a new series. I'm sorry I forgot the name of the series, but I give it 5 stars. I had a lot of tears. In this book, we have a football player, and he gets a phone call saying his son is in the hospital, and he's like, what are you talking about? I don't have a son in, like, at all, so why would he be in the hospital? And it turns out someone he just had a fun night with ended up having his son, and she dies in a car accident. The sister, so the aunt, wants to continue to be a part of this child's life. She has lived with her sister and her nephew, and so she ends up moving in with the footballer, and a lot of stuff happens from there. The Forbidden is book 2. The Feud is book 1. Again, sorry, I'm blanking on the series. I listened to an advanced audiobook of this, and we have the brother of someone who dies in the first book, and then we have a sister for the other party in the first book, and they don't really like each other. The brother's family did the other family dirty, and he's trying to prove that that was my dad, my mom, that wasn't me, I had nothing to do with it, and he's trying to prove himself because he wants to be in his niece's life, and he helps out with where they work, and a relationship forms. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And then recently I just finished The Pucking Coach's Daughter. This came out yesterday, if I have that correctly, so the 23rd, and it is very dark. There are a lot of triggers in this story, so please check it out before you read it. There's bullying, why choose, just like I said, there's a lot of dark stuff going on, but if you are okay with that aspect of the story, I get 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the characters. There's a character named Penn who is my favorite. There are 3 guys, 1 girl. It is a college story, and it has to do with hockey. The girl, Sydney, she does something out of anger, and it backfires, and some of the guys are trying to make her pay for it, and there is one guy who sticks by her side, but in a little creepy stalkerish way. Then some of the other books I finished. Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Unfortunately, this was only a 3-star read for me. I've liked other things of Riley's. I like the mystery. We have someone who moves back home. He hasn't been home in a really long time because when he was younger, he was having a sleepover with his friend in the backyard, and his friend ends up disappearing. No one knows what happens. So I liked the mystery of trying to figure out who done it. And there's a lot of back and forth between the past and the present, which I do find necessary. I know some people don't like that, but I think it is an important part of the story. And it just dragged a little bit for me. It was a little long. It wasn't as exciting oh my gosh, I'm so tongue-tied in this video. It wasn't as exciting as I was hoping, and I didn't know, I couldn't figure out who did it, so I appreciated that, not being able to figure it out. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then when I actually have a book for, Room by Emma Donoghue, I have a video where I read the book and then I watched the movie. Again, there's some trigger warnings, there's kidnapping in here, and there is a girl who was kidnapped, and she has been living in this shed for 7 years. And while she was living there, she ends up having a 5-year-old son. They come up with a plan to try to escape. This book is broken up into 2 parts, and the second part is about being back in the real world. So please check those warnings. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Another one I actually have a book for, the last and final book, Children of Anguish and Anarchy. This book has been a long time coming. It's been years since book 2 came out. It is finally out in the world, and unfortunately I was disappointed with it. I was listening to the audiobook. I think I'm gonna have to go back and listen again, because it wasn't clicking for me. Like, I really enjoyed the first 2 books and was anxiously awaiting this, and it was just falling flat for me, which I was really sad about, because it's been a long time coming, and it was the last one, it was the wrap up. So yeah, it was sad. I might eventually one day go back and give it another go. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Then I did a reread of Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I actually listened to the audiobook this time. My friends and I, we were having a day together, and one of them said, I really want to rewatch The Hunger Games. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So I read the book when it first came out, and I thought it was so-so. Because President Snow, that's what the book is about if you don't know. And I mean, he's not a likable guy. And then the movie for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out, and I really enjoyed the movie. So my friends, they had not read Ballad yet, and I decided to reread, or well, re-listen to the story, and I enjoyed it much better than I did the first time. So just talking about second chances with the last book, pays to give stuff a second chance sometimes. I did not see the movie either, and I did. So we were able to talk about the book, talk about the movie, and we just had a whole weekend of a Hunger Games marathon. It was so fun. We enjoyed doing that, and the kicker of it was, that morning when I woke up on my Facebook page, my memories popped up, and 13 years ago there was a picture of us, and we had a Harry Potter marathon a long time ago, and it was on that same day 13 years ago. So it was such a funny coincidence, and we're like, what are we gonna watch in another 13 years? What cool series is going to be out there that we're going to want to have a marathon for? So that was just fun to do and revisit that world. And speaking of that, I'm just so excited to revisit the world again in March, because if you do not know, Suzanne is coming out with, what's it called? Something of the Reaping. It is Hamish's story, which I'm so excited for. Then I listened to The Dixon Rule by L. Kennedy. This is book 2 in the series. It is a second generation series to the off-campus characters, and I liked this one a lot better than The Graham Effect. 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked the characters. There was fun banter. There's fake dating in here. There's a part where the female lead is a cheerleader, and she also dances, and she gets the male lead to enter this dance competition with her. It was just a really fun read. Then I read The Love Con by Sarissa Glass. She is going to be at Romance Con, which I am going to in September. If Romance Con is something that you want to look into, it is the first time it is happening. It is happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can use code, all capital, RCLINDSCY, RC Lindsay, to get 15% off a ticket. They, I believe, have regular, like a day pass, and then they have ones for like everything with the event included. So this author I wanted to give a go. It is where this girl is competing in a competition for making costumes and cosplay, and this is her roommate, best friend, and he does the work as well. And she is in the competition. She makes it to the final two. She tells a fib because she doesn't like how one of the judges is treating her, because in this part of the competition they are going to go home and make their outfits there, and they are allowed to work with someone, and they want to answer right then and there on stage who she's going to work with. And she says she's working with her best friend Rumi, but she also claims that he is her boyfriend. So her parents don't like what she's doing with her life. They want her to use her college career, and they don't think she can do anything with this kind of profession. So she's trying to prove to her parents, herself, and besides navigating the competition, she's now navigating this relationship with her best friend. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I listened to My Dear Henry by Kaylin Bayron, and I really like her stuff, but this one I only gave 3 out of 5 stars. It just didn't click for me. Jacqueline Hyde kind of retelling, and it just dragged a little bit for me. It wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be for what the retelling was. It just felt a little flat. Those are the books for July I have read up to this point. For my August TBR, I was fortunate enough and I was able to snag a ticket to Wild and Windy Chicago, which is going to happen in May. And my friends and I, there's a lot of new to us hockey authors on there. And with the Target's buy 2 get 1 free sale, I ended up getting some books by the authors who are going to be there, which they are hockey ones. Actually, I have some behind me right here, and we decided to do a buddy read for August. So I am going to read Weekside by S.J. Silvis. I met S.J. this year at Wild and Windy only because my friend was going in her line, hadn't read anything by her yet. She was super nice, so I'm excited to read this. And then someone else who's going to be at Wild and Windy, I know I have all this time to read it, but I am very curious about this book because it has been all over. Butcher and Blackbird by Bren Weaver. Bren's going to be at Wild and Windy, but I kind of want to catch up because I know book 2 is already out and either book 3 is out or it is coming. So I want to be caught up. I heard a lot of interesting things about it, so I am excited to read this one. And with Romance Con coming up, there are some books I want to read by authors going there. I'm not really sure what those are yet. And also in August is Meet Me in Milwaukee. There's just one more book I want to finish, a book by Nicole Rose, so that one is on my list. And then I will have to check out some of the other Romance Con authors. I know Kennedy Ryan is going to be there, and I think it's called Before I Let Go. I've been on the wait list for the audiobook on my Libby app forever, but I think I'm just going to read the physical book. I do have it. And then Sierra Simone is going to be there, and I want to pick up a lesson of Thorns, Lesson in Thorns, whatever that one is. Julie Murphy, do I have it here? Oh, I know I wasn't sure about this one, but Christine Riccio is going to be there, and this was in the clearance section at my half price book, so I thought, you know, why not give it a try? Like watching her YouTube videos, she seems like a fun person. And Becky Albertelli, I want to read the Simon book and Leah on the Offbeat. And there's another author I can't think of right now. Oh, Joe Segura, the Raiders of the Lost Heart, if I'm remembering that correctly. So there's a whole bunch of authors in August that I want to squeeze in for Romance Con, and I think that's going to be fun. I go back to work on August 20th. I am a teacher, and for those 4 days, Tuesday through Friday, we go back to work for training, setting up the classroom, and then that following Monday, the kids come back. So it's going to be a little harder getting back into the swing of things and changing up my summer schedule to my work schedule. Can't stay up late reading books because I'm going to have to wake up early in the morning, but I'm going to use the time wisely that I have left before I go back. And yeah, so I am happy with what I read in July because I was in a little kind of funk with reading lately, and I have a lot of good reads for August. So let me know down below what are some of your favorite July reads and if you have any reading plans for August. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.